Hi, welcome back to our honors geometry unit. Today we're going to talk about truth values of conditionals again. So I'm going to determine if the truth value of each conditional statement is true or false. And the only time I have a false statement is if I have a true hypothesis and a false conclusion. So if I have that, then my conditional, if P, then Q, would be false. Everything else is going to be true. And we talked about that in class a little bit. I'll put out a more in-depth video later tonight covering that information. But first, if a number is odd, then it is divisible by 5. So I'm going to assume that this is true, because the only thing I need to check for is true, false. So if the number is odd, if that's true, then it is divisible by 5. So let's see, could I come up with a number that is not divisible by 5? Well, 3. So the number 3, for the number 3, my hypothesis is true, the number is odd, but it is not divisible by 5. So I have a true false, which means this is a false statement. And 3 is my counterexample. Okay, let's try another one. If a dog is an amphibian, then the season is summer. Well, let's see. Can I have a dog that is an amphibian? Can I have a true hypothesis? Well, no, a dog is not an amphibian, it's a mammal. So I can't even check this. I can't possibly have true false because your hypothesis is not true. So since I don't have true false, then I have a true statement. Okay, if an angle is acute, can I have an acute angle? Yes, I can have an acute angle. So that works. Then it has a measure of 45 degrees. So my premise is true, my hypothesis is true. Is it possible to have an acute angle, a true hypothesis, with a conclusion that is false? So can I have an acute angle that is not exactly 45 degrees? And if I can, then that is a false statement, because then I have true hypothesis, false statement. So I could do 30 degrees. And if I had 30 degrees, then I have a true hypothesis, it is acute, and I have a false conclusion, it is not 45, which means that this must be a false statement. And our last one, why don't you pause the video and try this one on your own, and then unpause and check your work. All right, so you should have tried it by now. If a polygon has 6 sides, can I have a polygon with 6 sides? Is that possible? Yeah, I can have a polygon with 6 sides. Then it is a regular polygon. So I need to know, can I draw a polygon that is not regular, but still has 6 sides? Let's see, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, there's 6. So that's a polygon, has 6 sides. Hypothesis true. It's definitely not regular, so my conclusion is false. So if I have true false right here, that means that is a false statement. And there's my counterexample, that very strange hexagon. Why don't you take a couple minutes, try 39 through 46 if you want to, and then unpause the video and check your work. Again, I want true, false to get a false statement. Everything else is true. All right, so number 39, I can have a 25-degree angle. And then if it's 25, the complement must be 65, so true, true, true statement. 40, if North Carolina is south of Florida, that's false. Then the capital of Ohio is Columbus. Well, it doesn't matter because I cannot have true, false if I start off with a false statement. So no matter what, that is true. If red paint and blue paint mixed together make white paint, so red and blue mixed together, those do not make white paint. So that's false. Then 3 minus 2 equals 0, also false, so false, false. As long as I don't have true, false, I'm okay. That would be true. Number 42, if two angles are congruent, can I have two congruent angles? I can. Then they are vertical. Not necessarily. So this is true, I can have that. But I could have two congruent 90-degree angles. So there's a counterexample. I have true, false. So take a look at that. I have true, false, which means that's a false statement. Again, on 43, can I have a bird? Excuse me. Can I have an animal that's a bird? I can. Does it have to be an eagle? No, I could have a dog. So that's false. If two angles are acute, I can have two acute angles, that would work. Then they are supplementary. So that's true, I could have that. Let's say I have 30 degrees and 20 degrees. Those are definitely not supplementary. So I have a true and a false. So true, false gets me false. And then on the last two, I have false and I have true. Now on 46, why do I have true? Because a banana is definitely not blue and an apple is not a vegetable. False, false. And if I have a false hypothesis, it doesn't matter what my conclusion is. It's always a true statement. So let me know what questions you have on these. Let me erase some of the extra stuff here. Send me an email with any questions that you have, and I will see you in class.